ladies and gentlemen and ladies, and you may not be either one of those, but either way, you're watching NFC Beast, episode 9 of season 4, and we got some things to talk about today, right? Some things happening within the division, the Beast. Just want to remind everybody before we get started, there's only one division that every team has won, not one, multiple championships, Super Bowl championships. So until the teams in your division can accomplish that, you cannot have the gall to try to say that your division is better. Because until everyone is champions multiple times, you have no legs to stand on. You can't stack up. So we will always be the beast because a lot of you have teams that will never win. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. Not sorry, but that's the truth. But back to the beast. I am joined today by my man Scrub Zero, our Angry Giants guy. What's going on, Scrub?
You don't be angry for a long time with this sorry Giants team.
Oh, because I'm enjoying my life. So, man. We're going to talk about a few things that maybe you like, maybe you don't about the Giants. It might make y'all a little bit better. We're going to see. Flo, making his season debut. Thanks for your service. So back from a tour.
Thank you.
A little 8-month tour. Little tiny little 8-month tour.
Thank you.
Yeah, gotta represent defend the country. So thank you for that, sir. Happy late. I did post, but happy late
Veterans Day.
Yeah, I get them mixed up in my mind.
Yeah,
Veterans Day. So no problem. And my cousin from another auntie. House coach, what's going on, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here, man. Despite the 5-game losing streak, man, I'm here. Week in, week out.
You know what, man? It's rough because, like, when you look at the teams, you see that there's been some opportunities for everyone to have won more games than they have. You know what I'm saying? There's been some games where, like, we played the Giants. The Giants smacked us the first time. We weren't going to win that game. Because we came out feeling like, we're just going to do whatever. They're just going to lay down for us, and they didn't. But a lot of the games that all the teams have lost have been games that could have won. For instance, Denver. We all were up on Denver to play Denver so far and let them come back. Those are games that we should have won. There's no excuse to be up by teams double digits and let them come back and beat you. So that's a thing that, it just happened. They're going to probably end up going undefeated against the NFC East this year, and they're going to brag about that for 10 years. But that's okay because the closest they're going to get to a Super Bowl is bragging about defeating the NFC Beast. Good job for them. But, a little vitriol. I know some Broncos fans that like to stay in my inbox reminding us that they won a game. And I'm like, hey, that's great, man. I'm so happy that you guys won a game. It's wonderful.
If you know my guy, Hot Take Jake, he's a Broncos fan. He loves.
Yeah, some of the Broncos fans have been cool. They're just like, yeah, we won.
He loves the fact that they beat us every time.
Yeah, some guys just take it too far. That's okay because
I don't think Dak's beat him one time.
Really?
It's been yeah. I don't think Dak's ever beat him.
Wow.
Oh, dang.
That's a little surprising because Dak slings the ball like we give Dak hard.
There's been some good games. I think it goes back to that day, that Romo game when it was Peyton and Romo and it was like 51, 48. It goes back to that around that time. Wow. That's like we haven't beat him since then.
Well, see, that's what happens when you have your Dallas guy on. You have a chance to learn a little bit of Dallas trivia because we're not going to ever look it up. So we see Dallas, and we're like, all right, guys. Oh man, it's time to get into it. So, where would you guys like to start? Y'all want to start with some of the news and stuff, or y'all just want to get into last week and then we'll do the news? What you guys want to get going here?
Let's get to the games first so we can get to the news after.
Yeah.
Yes, we can get to the games. All right, we'll get to the games.
The games that happened, right?
All right, give me 1 minute here, guys.
Yeah, there's still certain teams and players we looking for some of these games, but that's not here nor there right now.
Week 10.
Some good vitriol here. All right, week 10. So, of course, we had a couple of interesting games. We ain't really talking about other divisions now. A couple of interesting games, but we'll get into the meat and potatoes. So first game, per the NFL.com, was the New York Giants. We're now 2-8, taking on the Chicago Bears, and that was a 20-24 game. I want to say, right, and I don't defend the Giants much. I don't defend nobody much, right? I don't even defend the Eagles much. Y'all know that. I'll get them to work too. I feel like if at the time head coach had the logic to say my quarterback, probably shouldn't be out here running because he's already been banged up and maybe snipped by a concussion or two, I think that the Giants could have held on. And I think that the main reason, there's obviously other things. I'm not saying, that one thing was different. There's a guarantee. But I feel like if you keep darting that game, you give yourself a better chance than you ever do with Russell Wilson at this point in his career. Now, Russell Wilson, and I call him Russell now because he's no longer Russell. In my mind, he's Russell Wilson now. And I feel like he's just the guy that's at the end. He hung around a little bit too long. And, I don't blame you. If somebody's willing to pay me, I'm going to hang around and get a paycheck. But
did he still get paid from Denver?
Yeah, so this year's last year.
Probably. But, yeah, anytime you have a guy like that, man, and that's happening, I don't blame him. I'm not like, oh, Russell, why would you want to still get money? But I'm just saying, like, he's not it. So once you put him in, I was kind of like, They're doing the right thing this week. Talk about that later. But I feel like the Giants played, a game that they could have won. It didn't quite work out. The big run by Caleb Williams at the end. I will say the one last thing I'll say is I have a buddy who cannot stand Caleb Williams' painted nails. So all he does is every time Caleb Williams scores, he says, I guess I wonder what color he's going to get tomorrow since they won. And he just he goes off on the nails. Like he goes on a whole tangent. But
you have painted nails?
The Bears.
Yeah, it really started when they were beating, and then Caleb Williams was on the sideline with his nails up, and one of his teammates was painting his nails. Ever since then, boy has vitriol toward him, like strong vitriol. But yeah, I think the Giants had a good chance, but I'll give the Bears a tiny bit of props for making a big play when all the momentum was gone because Russell Wilson was back in the game. We know what happens when Russell is quarterback for anybody now. All right, Couch Coach, your thoughts on the game. We're going to let Scrub go last because I know he probably got a few words there.
So many missed opportunities. Almost pretty much the game was almost like a microcosm of the Giants season where they had that lead in the fourth quarter and essentially didn't capitalize in the fourth quarter. And it's just another one where it's like, man, if we could put some of these wins together, we could really be in contention in the NFC. So, not much on it, but yeah.
Flo, any thoughts, sir?
I really had high hopes for the Giants. I was thinking 8-9 wins going into the season. And if you look at their schedule, they could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 games there that they could have won. At least they were in contention. At least 4. So you count those 4, and the whole season's a whole different season. They're 6 and 6 and 4.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 and 4, but 6 and 4, maybe at least at 500. So, yeah, I feel like it's I don't know. Are we gonna talk about Daboll later? I guess.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just feel like it's tough because when do you put in the rookie, right? Do you put him in right away and you put him in the fire? Or do you wait till later in the season? I feel like you should have probably waited with the rookie. Because in hindsight, I guess you look at it and they're like, they lost. They would probably be 2-8 anyway. Maybe still be 2-8, maybe 3-8, but they'd still be where they are now if they hadn't started the rookie. So would it make more sense to start him now and let him get some experience towards the end of the season? As opposed to trying to start him early and basically trying to save your job, I guess, in a way, which I understand why he started him early because I think, people were calling for the rookie to come in. So, but in hindsight, it feels like maybe he should have just let it ride with Russ, and you end up kind of in the same spot. And then now you kind of get free reign, let the rookie get in there and get a few games, no pressure. The season's over. You're not going to go and get me in the playoffs, and you just let him get out there and do what he can. And you take some, open up the playbook, because it doesn't matter. You're not going to make the playoffs anyway at this point. And so, that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, I feel bad for our guy up there, but yeah, it's tough. I feel like this game, it was in the grasp, and they kind of let it get away, like some of the other games they've done all year. But it's tough because they can get early leads, but without a solid run game, you can't hold on to the lead. That's kind of been their problem. They get leads and they build leads pretty much all year, and then they lose them because they can't really run. And then when they run the rookie, you run the risk of getting him injured. But, the more you run him. But, yeah, it's tough.
All right, Scrub, all you.
First, I want to give credit to the Bears. This is nothing new for the Bears. They've kind of been a fourth quarter team all year when you look at the games they've won. So, they came through again in the fourth quarter. Listen, say what you want about Caleb Williams, but he has improved from year one to year two. Like, by little or a lot, you do see a difference in him. And that's definitely credit to Ben Johnson and to the young man himself for actually actually improving. Now to the Giants. Here we go again. Another blown fourth quarter lead. I personally thought we would have had a better chance with the rookie had he not gotten injured. The thing with Russ is that all season, like, you see the plays that, like, yes, Russ has his limitations. He's not the same guy he used to be. I think he would have best been suited on a team he would have had to go on a team like
Indianapolis.
Yeah, it would have had to be a team that has an offensive line and a run game already. Because think about it, his best year in Seattle, he had a run game. They were above average receivers, and they had a strong run game. The thing with the Giants is they don't run the ball. They don't commit to the run. They don't come up with creative ways to run the ball. And this has been an issue with not just the Giants, but most of the National Football League.
Amen, brother.
But
it's tough when you lose Scatterboo, you lose Neighbors. you lose
you lose guys, players. But you still have Tyrone Tracy. All right, he's not Scatterboo, but you can still run the ball with him. These offense coordinators come in touted as geniuses as the next guy, but what if they? But a lot of them are just riding fame of successful quarterbacks.
They're just.
We're gonna be honest. Let's just call it what it is. Brian Daboll was a product of Josh Allen's success.
I think he helped Josh Allen.
Oh, I'm not saying he didn't help Josh Allen.
I would love to have Brian Daboll as my offensive coordinator.
No. But you have a
Me too.
you guys have quarterbacks. You guys have established quarterbacks. That's the thing.
Yeah, we do. That's true.
But look, as a head coach, I mean, at some point, you can't keep blowing leads, man. You can't keep coming up with these sorry game plans.
It's tough though.
It's not all on him because the players ain't hold up on their end either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who disappointed on this thing on team. The defense once again came up short. The offensive line has been up and down. I don't even like it's been such a mixed bag. I don't even know what to think of them anymore. I don't know if I don't think they're as bad as they were before, but they're clearly not where they need to be.
Right.
But I don't know exactly who they really are, aside from the inconsistent munch outside of Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, one guy can't do it. You need at least
three, I know. You need at least three guys. On the line, really. Yeah. And then obviously the receivers with Malik Neighbors down, the only reliable guy has been Wanda Robinson, and he's a slot receiver. so there's only so much you're getting out of him. Now we did have a Darius Slayton sighting for what, like
that helps every once in a while.
Right? but
it's like, oh yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's
there. He is.
Either he's there making a play or he's there dropping the dang on ball. And you're like, man, I didn't want him on the team.
That's true.
All this to say, the Giants, this roster, it is this combination of talent is not here. The head coach, Daboll, who did get the boot, and we'll talk more about that shortly. He didn't get the job done. Russ, they didn't call plays for him to be successful, and then listen, and yeah, Russ, he's fallen off. But what's the one thing? What's the one thing that builds that? The one thing that any player will take if they got it, they play above what their level, above their projected level, and if they don't, they play below it. Confidence. Russ ain't got no confidence. You can see it out there. He ain't got no confidence, and they got no confidence in him. And honestly, until further notice, I don't see a reason to have confidence in anyone on this team. Maybe an individual player or two, but as a whole, nah. Pack them up. Stick a fork in them. They done. They deserve to lose this game. It's not a fourth lead that they had a fourth game they had a 10-point lead and blown it. Second time in the fourth quarter they got that far and did it. Yeah, well, we got rid of one guy. Now we just need. We'll get to that. Let's go.
All right, so I'm not even going to talk about this next game because I don't want to take anything away from my cousin from another auntie. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the Lions 6-3 went to Landover, Maryland, beat the Commanders 44 to 22. Scrub, your thoughts on that game? Then we'll go to you, Flo, and then we'll finish off with Couch Coach. I'm staying out of this one. I'm gonna save my stuff for the next one.
This is what I thought it would be kind of a one-sided butt kicking, and it was. I mean, they lost. The Commanders down the quarterback again, so they won't. Well, Marcus Mariota, he's okay in a pinch, but that's just it. That's as much as you're going to get as okay. The defense, like I said, would be their downfall. They survived last season. They're not surviving this season. I mean, 40. Man, listen. Commanders had an average roster at best. They lost some key players, and it's all going down the drain. You got to do a better job on third down. Got to do a better job of penalties. They didn't turn it over, but they just weren't good enough, man. And against a team like Detroit, you gotta play above your for a team you had to play above your level, and they just couldn't even. They couldn't do that. Detroit did what they were supposed to do. After that stinker last week, credit to them. And the Commanders will be in the basement with the Giants. At least that's what I think for the remainder of the season. I don't think either of these teams are going anywhere.
Hello, what you got, sir?
Interesting enough, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my current chaplain that I work with in the Army, he's a Commanders fan. Commanders.
You might have.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he's a Commanders fan. And he hates the name change too. But it's tough, because, this team, a lot of this team was, Jane Daniels or bust. That's kind of what this team was. And you're relying on what he did last year. And I told him he may have a sophomore slump, and it may not be because, he just doesn't play well necessarily, but, he may start getting injured a little more. I saw the thing I always worried about Jaden Daniels is his frame. You just worry about injury, and And I'm just glad that it's not as serious as it looked. But as far as the game, Marcus Mariota can win you a few games, but I think Commanders are one of the oldest teams in the NFL, and it's kind of showing you got a lot of injuries. You got a lot of guys who can't pass muster anymore because of the age. You get this part of the season, no matter how well prepared you are, the older you are, the harder it gets. If you got every position, both sides of the ball is older, it's going to wear on you. And so I think that's a little bit of it. A little bit of injuries. Of course, you don't have your QB. And so, you lost some of your offensive players. Terry hasn't been healthy all year. And so this just kind of shows, what's kind of been their issue is that they haven't been able to be consistent on offense. And their defense has kind of been like ours, it just gives up a lot of points, gives up a lot of yards, and, has trouble stopping, other teams. And so that's kind of been a microcosm of the whole season is this game, minus their quarterback, who's been injured. But I think they score a little more points maybe, but I think the result may be the same because, you're giving up 44. So. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's the first time I feel bad for the Giants and the Commanders. Just because I know how it is. You get injuries and all this stuff goes. Your quarterback is injured. You don't like your coach or whatever. But yeah, it's just it's a tough year for both teams and for the Commanders.
Couch coach is all you, sir.
Yeah, it was expected. This game wasn't even in contention. I mean, they jumped out to a 22-3 lead, and they never looked back. If you look at those plays, Jameson Williams was wide open. Monte Brown, he was open in a lot of those situations where you didn't even see a defender even in my backyard in Virginia. Then you look at the run game, they just was like lights out. Jahmyr Gibbs just ran all over us. It's just like you said, it's been like this in this 5-game losing streak. 4 of those games we've lost by double digits. It's pretty much been the same. So it's almost like, you look at like the Seattle game, it was eerily similar. Jared Goff was just as effective as Sam Darnold was in the Sunday Night Football game. And like you said, and I know I don't want to use injuries as an excuse, but I'm telling you, everybody and their mama is injured on this Washington Commanders team. We lost our first round draft pick, Trey Amos. Treylon Burks just got on the team, got injured, couldn't even make the trip to Madrid on Monday. It's crazy. It's so crazy. We literally have a laundry list of guys that are injured on this team, and like defensively, we can't do anything. And that's where it's kind of where it's to a point where will we win another game? And Scrub, you talk about the basement. We're going to be at the bottom of the basement. We're going to be asking y'all for help. We can be the basement. We can be in the crawl space at this point. It's because I don't see them win another football game. I thought Sunday was going to be possible. But they got weapons.
Got Miami coming.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But they got weapons. They got Waddle. They got Antoine. They got guys that can gash us. So I was like, they got playmakers. And we know we've had quarterbacks playing with clean pockets. So Tua Tagovailoa might look like Tua of old. I mean, those guys pretty much had clean pockets. So, like I said, that was the only chance I think of us winning a football game. And, like I said, we
got New York coming up.
But they're a different team. They're a different team than when we played them on the first week of the season. They're not playing Russell Wilson. Hell, Jameis Winston might gash us. At this point, I ain't talking.
He might give you a couple too.
And a Mike Kafka, he might do a legitimate job in these next few weeks.
30 for 30.
He was up for head coaching job last year.
Right, I would not put it past that they would beat us. As I said, I'm telling you, we're in the crawl space. to be taking the last place and be there for a while.
I feel
Be
it.
there for a while is insane.
Hey,
But it might really be true. I can't even lie.
oh, it's the facts. It's the facts. The way this team playing.
So Monday Night Football. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh no, the way this team playing, we ain't winning another game this year.
Really?
We really got to talk about that Monday night game?
I'm gonna make it fast because if you watch just the highlights, that was fast. Monday Night Football, November 10th. So we played the first half where everybody decided just, we're gonna have the ball for a few plays, y'all gonna have the ball for a few plays, and then we gonna have the ball for a few plays, y'all gonna have the ball for a few plays, and we gonna fumble to y'all and we about to score and then do nothing, and then y'all just gonna not do nothing the rest of the half anyway, and then y'all gonna fumble it back to us at the end of the first half, and y'all really get some points. The Eagles did win 10-7. No one's ever upset when their team loses, but I think concern on the offense is a big thing. Kevin Patullo is not an NFL offensive coordinator that calls plays. Nick Sirianni can't call better plays than my 9-month-old nephew. So, as currently constructed, if the players, mainly, Hurts and a couple of other guys who've been there for a while, don't get together and start, hey, we got to do something different because it's not working, this is going to be a problem. Offensively, this team has looked putrid in most games this year. Defensively, I would say every game but the Giants game, they've looked really good. I think in the Giants game, the big problem with that game, and again, not to make a mistake, not to make a, not to blame injuries, but when Quinyon Mitchell went out, I was ready to turn my TV off and go to sleep because we only have one good cornerback right now. Because Adoree Jackson is what I would call trash juice. And then Keely Ringo runs like he has cement boots on. And is timid to hit even though he's supposed to be a hitter. So when those were the two guys that were playing cornerback for us against the Giants in that first game, I was like, bro, there's nobody to stop anybody. And you can see it on the field. So, but with everyone healthy and back, I think the Eagles' defense is a top 5 defense. Problem is you have two sides of the ball. And this offense, I don't think there's anybody on the staff that can call plays, to be honest with you. And I'm a little disappointed in the general manager for allowing him to call the guy. And this is what I want people to understand here. This is the guy, Kevin Patullo, who he overlooked and went with someone else last time he was doing an internal candidate. So he wasn't good enough 2 years ago. He hasn't called any plays in the 2 years, but now all of a sudden he's good enough to be the OC. And you clearly see he's no better than Brian Johnson. And we may be insulting Brian Johnson because this is pretty bad. We saw last year these same players. We didn't lose any top wide receiver. We don't have a different quarterback. We didn't lose any linemen. Well, we lost one, but he was replaced. And it just doesn't look good. And Nick Sirianni, you got to do some soul searching and you got to figure something out, bro. You need to go find someone to come in and be a consultant that can actually call plays. Because what we have now, this does not look good. I mean, we could win just because of how good we could be defensively. But when you start looking at offensively, putting up a lot of points on the board with these same generic plays, and this one week we play a little bit better, the next week we take 5 steps backwards. It's not going to work. We had 15 days and we came out and this is what we had. Again, happy we won, but everything else about that game is disappointing. Couch Coach, anything you want to add, sir?
I mean, yeah, you covered it. Like you said, first 1-10 won that game, and it was a defensive effort. Defensive effort, to say that.
It was a defensive struggle.
Sure.
A lot of struggling. Anything you want to add, Big Flo?
Well, I think the saving grace for the Eagles right now is the fact that in the trenches on the D line and the O line are basically covering up your flaws. You know, the D line's covering up for your secondary, you know, and the O line's covering up for the play calling. I'm guessing is, you know, you get a couple, all you need is a couple of plays and, you know, you score just enough points. And so I think the trenches right now is covering up the flaws in the other part, the other side, both sides of the ball. That's the way I kind of see it.
Okay, any argument from me on that, sir? What you got, Scrub?
Both defenses played well. The offenses were offensive. Very offensive. Seriously, they were.
They were
very true.
I saw the same problem for both sides. Like, bro, like all y'all had to do was run the dang on ball. Y'all would y'all ran the ball, boy. Y'all would have helped. You would have gotten it done. Same for Green Bay. I'm like, hey, how we get through one half of football?
Oh, you're talking about running the ball. How dare you?
I know. That's blue light bad word right there. I was like, how are you guys? And that's why I said it's a problem in the National Football League. Like, bro, all you got to do is utilize your run. Both teams got play action quarterbacks. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love are play action quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts works well when y'all run the ball and then you run play action off it. Get him in the rhythm. Because when he in rhythm off of that, who's stopping y'all? No one.
Yeah, when you get in rhythm, yo.
But your offensive staff got an allergic reaction to actually doing something that makes sense. Shout out to listen that. But I gotta give Harry credit for getting Jalen Phillips because y'all didn't need an edge guy. He came in. He definitely helped out a lot in that game. We'll see if he continues on at the very least for one game. He was an asset, and not a liability, because we know the two corners. The aforementioned Adoree Jackson, who I've had no use for him for years. Now you see it firsthand. And Keely Ringo, I'm seeing that. I'm like, hey.
I've never seen someone run so slow. Play outside corner. I've never seen it. I don't understand.
Neither do I, but
you got a practice squad, at least get you a little more speed. You can move up.
I would personally do it because it can't be any worse at this point.
Might as well try it out.
I mean, you go to Pittsburgh's practice squad right now and get a cornerback. Stop playing.
For real.
Pretty much.
But they're not going to do that.
Go to Seattle, man. Get to one of their practice.
The only other thing I'm going to say is
right now.
I've heard the comments I heard the whole thing with AJ. Like, listen, AJ Brown, right? Y'all, like, the offense, y'all ain't good enough. I understand what you're saying. I may not agree with how he went about it, but he's frustrated because y'all ain't getting it done on offense. And from what I heard from him, he's like, this is not going to get y'all to where y'all need to get to, which is the Super Bowl. Defense playing well, offense got to pick it up because at some point that defense they're going to have a game where they can't hold up. And with offense playing like it is, if that happens in the postseason, you're going home. So Nick Sirianni and company pick it up. Find a way.
They got a good test coming up. See if they can.
Yeah, sure. Detroit, yeah.
Offense. Because Detroit's going to score a little bit.
Yeah, Flo.
They may not score 44, but they're going to score a little bit.
Do y'all have any thoughts on AJ Brown's comments?
I kind of agree with what Scrub said. Pretty much, I agree that as far as the offense does need to pick it up, but the message, the delivery of the message is something that needed to be internal. It shouldn't be something that should have been in the media because, the media runs everything. And they already kind of ran with that narrative with the book situation. Now it's like a continuation of it. So it's kind of one of the things where it's like you're feeding this story and you're making it kind of, making it bigger than what it is. But like you said, it's going to get to a point where, because you're going to have the Detroits of the world. You're going to have the Seattles. you're going to have those offensive juggernaut type of teams that you're playing, and you're not going to hold them to 7 points. And like to Scrub's point, where if you can have a situation like Green Bay, but you may not even get to face Green Bay. You might have to play one of these teams in the opening round, and you could be eliminated. So it's just one of the things where it's like, yes, you match up well with the Packers because they're kind of almost similar in the same ilk. But when you deal with an offensive juggernaut teams, especially in the NFC, it could be a problem. And like you said, Flo, where you got a huge test in Detroit this week, so it's going to be a good litmus test to kind of see how this team will go against a high-powered offense as Detroit has.
Any thoughts, Flo?
I agree with AJ Brown. If you got him on your fantasy team, you might as well bench him. you might as well put him on the bench or trade him.
I'll say this, and technically, AJ Brown said, "Don't put him on the bench. Drop me." AJ Brown said, "Drop me."
He did say drop. Yeah,
he said, "Don't." Yeah. No, he said, "Drop me." But
I would put him on the bench because you never know.
I don't draft AJ Brown. I will only draft Devontae Smith. And the reason is he's the number 2, so he's going to get opportunities. But I don't ever draft AJ Brown because I watch my players, and I know over the course of a year, AJ Brown might have 5 or 6 games where you like, yes, AJ Brown, AJ mother loving Brown. The mother, it's going to be 7 or 8 games where you're going to be like,
yeah.
There's going to be a couple that's going to be in the middle. So far this year, we've got one AJ.
But is that AJ Brown or is that, like you said, the play call in Jalen Hurts?
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Get to that. AJ mother loving Brown, like one game and then one of the okay games. Everything else has been. But a lot of it is targets, right? Everybody says, "Oh, AJ Brown." Like, so I saw an Eagles fan saw his post the other day, and I started to get on there and just really go in. But I was like, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm calming myself down. I'm being more zen, so I'm not going to allow this stuff to get me upset anymore. It's not worth it. But my issue is you're not doing things to help him get over. You know that he's being focused on. The reason why Devontae Smith is getting off more is because the focus is more on AJ. It always is. So in order to combat that, you have to do things like rub routes, run him in crossing routes where the other guy has to take a step around another wide receiver, different things to just give him a little bit of space. Because you give AJ just a tad bit of space, he's going to make plays. Can he make plays down the field? Absolutely. But the quarterback has to have time. The quarterback has to see the route. And then the quarterback has to be able to deliver the ball there. So that doesn't always match up. But there are opportunities where he should be seen, where he has a step or he can make a play, and he's not always getting the opportunities. Saquon Barkley is getting frustrated as well. You know why Saquon Barkley is getting frustrated? Because he was a 2,000-yard rusher last year. And look at his stats this year. And again, I didn't expect him to be similar to that. I said on here, if he can get about 12 to 1,400, that'd be about my ceiling for him this year because I knew defenses were going to focus on him. You're not going to sit there and let this Philadelphia Eagles team just run all over you all game like people did last year. So you expect those things, but then you counter with AJ, with Devontae, with Dallas Goedert. I think that Jalen Hurts forgot how to run the ball. I think that he's being told not to run the ball. I feel like every year he runs early and then he stops, and I feel like he's being told not to run the ball. And I think that's affecting him. But my biggest issue with the offense is we have a quarterback who's a veteran who has his big money contract. You don't have to do what they say. You can tell them piss off and do what you want to do. And if it works, they're going to love it. And if it doesn't, it is what it is. And it's going to work sometime. What are they going to do? Oh, Jalen, you didn't run the play we wanted. I'm going to sit you down. No, he's not going to do that because he doesn't have the demeanor of that. He's going to make the plays. He's going to make the main thing, and he's going to execute. And if something's wrong, he's going to take the blame for it. I don't give a monkey's you know what about you taking blame. How about you start changing more of those plays? How about you audible? How about you take more control of the offense? Because your coordinator can't do it. Your head coach can't do it. So if you don't do more, this is going to be ugly unless something changes.
But I agree with you. It's just like you said, he's not that kind of guy. So I don't think
he did it. He did it one time. He did it against the Rams in the second half. We need more of that. You show me you can do it now. So even though I don't feel like you're the type of guy, you show me you can do it now. So man the fudge up. Put on your big boy drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And let's get it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Jalen, well, for the most part, he says a lot of the right things, you know, you're supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it the right way for the most part, you know, as far as the way he goes about his business, you know, on the football field and, you know, in the media. But I feel like this is kind of, it feels like when he was with Alabama, he wasn't quite getting it done. And then they bring Tua in, and all of a sudden things change and the ball gets thrown around. And so I feel like, in a way, the way things are going on offense, the way you can call the play calling or the coaching or whatever is going on, I think he tends to regress, you know, and just doesn't become that, you know, that person that can just run the offense. He just kind of goes with the flow, for lack of a better term. I don't know the right term, but feels like he regresses into whatever's happening, and he doesn't necessarily take charge. I mean, he'll say the right things and do those things, but when things start kind of going sideways, I feel like he just kind of goes with the flow and just puts his head down and just keeps going, as opposed to taking charge of whatever's going on, changing things up, like you said.
Yeah. So, Flo, unfortunately, some very sad news from the Dallas Cowboys. And I want to say, I'm going to let Flo talk about it because it's his team, but I want to say, as a fan of another team who hates the Dallas Cowboys, this is not something to celebrate. This is not something to make fun of or smile about. This is something to, you know, understand the severity of, and mental illness, you know, mental health, people needing help. It's important. And also, this is a time of year, and I say this every year because I'm someone that, you know, suffers from depression myself. This is the time of year, and it never goes away. This is the time of year where people who struggle need friends to check on them, family members to check on them, and those type of things, right? Some people are stronger than others, but this is the year, the time of year. You know, you start to get into the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas. This is when you see a lot of people harming themselves and doing things that you wouldn't want them to do because their mind state just gets so thrown off. So check on people and don't applaud when this happens. Don't think it's funny. Don't laugh about it. This is serious. This is real life. Like, you can not like a team, but you've got to understand there's a person behind it. Go ahead, Flo. I just want to throw it out there.
Hey, I appreciate it. Cool. You always kind of bring those kind of things to light, not even when something like this doesn't necessarily bring it to light. Yeah. And I appreciate you, bringing that to light. And so, yeah, I mean, it was devastating for a lot of people because, you know, he'd only been there a couple of years, but he was a likable guy. He'd been in commercials with Dak, and, you know, he seemed, you know, that's why you always, you just never know. And I feel like I've been through enough of these that I kind of know, not necessarily the signs, but, you know, unfortunately my brother-in-law suffered, you know, was you know, he was suicidal as well, and he committed suicide as well. And so, and he was a likable guy, man. He liked to make people laugh. And so a lot of times, you know, we look at Robin Williams. I mean, it just because a guy's smiling on the outside doesn't necessarily mean everything's okay. And so a lot of times it's hard. And so to reach people when you don't know where they're at. And so I just, you know, like you say, cool, you just never know. And just because sometimes for me, a red flag is when someone tells too many jokes and wants to make people laugh too much. And so for me, even in the military, you know, working with the chaplain, you know, we have a hands-on with all the memorials for any of our guys and soldiers in the Army that pass away. And unfortunately, probably I say I have been to, in my career, over 18 years, I've probably been to, not necessarily had direct contact, but been to or had direct contact with probably 60 to 70 memorials, and probably half of them were suicides. And so, this is a problem. And so for me, hey, man, if you got that friend that's always joking, check on him. I mean, you really get to know him. See what's going on inside, going on with him. I've seen too many of them. And so in the military, especially, and then so this one kind of hits home because, the suicides it's just an epidemic at times. And these things happen, and it's not like a person is just, you're going to see them depressed, and then you'll see the signs of depression. Sometimes they're extra happy. Sometimes they're really jokey and happy, and you're just like, so for me, hey, that friend that's really joking and happy and telling extra jokes and just seems really happy and go lucky. Sometimes you got to check on that guy, because sometimes that's not a good sign. And so, just be aware. And it's an unfortunate incident. He had so much ahead of him, only 24 years old, and it's just a sad situation all around. And so, but I appreciate you bringing it to light. And I think they're going to have a special, I'm not sure what's going to be on the uniform. I heard I don't know if it's just his number or some kind of special the rest of the season on their uniform, remembering their fallen player. And so, yeah, it's tough. And so, just like I said, hey, check on those guys that even you don't think or look like they may be suicidal. Check on them. Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Scrub or couch coach, y'all want to add anything to that?
I'll take it a step further. It might even be someone who's suicidal, but just like it might be some people they look like they got it all together, and just like regardless of what the situation is, we all got people in our lives that we care about, and whether you're here on the panel, you're watching, whatever the case, just reach out to your peoples, man. Let them know, hey, it's okay to not be okay. It ain't got it ain't got to be me or but have someone you could just talk to if you got a vent, if you just need to talk, just have a conversation, just have someone who can ground you, who know that oh dang, I wasn't even expecting that, but appreciate them just reaching out, just seeing how you're doing. Because I mean, listen, life is short, man. You talk to someone one day, next day they just fall off the face of the earth, and then you hear their passing. It's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be surprised, and especially in our line of what we do with soldiers. You can't really, I can't say, hey, I stopped, so many suicides. You don't really know. Right. But sometimes that's why I'll just all of a sudden, somebody who you wouldn't even think, I'll say, hey, come here. Hey, I say, hey, what's going on? And he goes, hey, how you doing? I said, yeah, I'm good, man. And this and that. I said, no, but how you doing? You good? Everything's good? How's life? You got any issues? Things that you need to talk about? I said, no, I'm good. But you'd be surprised how many people will kind of open up to you, just coming up all of a sudden and just out of nowhere, just seeing how they're doing. And so it's one of those things you just gotta almost be random about it. When you at least think about it and just come up to the guy, one of your friends, that you talk to, and just all of a sudden, hey, and just pull them aside, so that way it's not something that's public.
Yeah.
and just talk to them.
Heck,
Just see. And sometimes it's nothing, and they're good, and everything's good, and you just move on with your day. But sometimes they'll open up and they'll tell you what's going on.
Heck, even just talking to someone about something they like that like just to give them a boost, a bit like you'd be surprised you show interest in something someone likes, just how much they light up, just how much that energy increases. Yeah, I don't think it's much, but it does help out.
I know you got something, Couch Coach. What you got?
Yeah, and just pretty much to echo the sentiments of everyone, like you said, it's like we talked about this on my show, and it's like you said, it just comes out of nowhere. You like in people's perception, you're like, okay, he had this, this amazing block punt for a touchdown on Monday night, and then essentially 40 hours later, he's gone. And it's one of those things, like you say, it's like, and that's another kind of telltale signs, the highs and the lows of situations. Like you just never know. And like you said, and one of those things too, where you just look at it where, yes, we all, it's all about building a community. And like what Flo said, as far as just randomly talking to somebody, because probably what ended up happening why that person was vulnerable, because it probably was the first time. So you when you talk to that person, that probably was you probably was the only person that talked to him that whole entire day. So of course he probably would have been more vulnerable to talk to you and kind of open up. And that's one thing too, where most of us, man, we don't really like you said, had those kind of conversations. But now, obviously, now as the things have evolved, and now we have developed a community and checking on people. And like you said, it's and it is that time of the year. I mean, like we talked about the holidays, especially if you lost somebody, you think about traditions. You just think about stuff that when you lose somebody, you lose a part of yourself. And then some of that kind of gets in the way. We know, obviously, with Marshawn, his mother passing away last year. So it's kind of one of those things too, where you look at those type of situations, and if you've lost a parent, you're never the same. And it's just one of those things where like if he had a flow, they had a conversation with him that Wednesday night, it could have been that way. I know, like he sent and I think another thing too that adds another layer of this tragedy is that his girlfriend was expecting his child. I think that got me this week. I mean, it just really man, you just think to yourself, this is a child gonna come into this world not knowing their father. And I think that is just so heartbreaking. And that's another thing too, where it's, you think to yourself, you don't even know your father. And just the fact that, it's just heartbreaking. And I do give we always kind of joke and talk about Jerry, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't care what nobody say. Jerry look out for his people. I don't care. You can say anything negative about Jerry, but Jerry will always look out for his people. And I commend them what they're doing with Marshawn's girlfriend and having this fun together and make sure that the girlfriend and the child will always be taken care of and they'll be a part of Cowboys family. So kudos to the organization and kudos to Jerry for sure.
And let me just say, I mean, who knows what he was going through? I mean, you just, like I said, you never know. And sometimes and it's almost, we have a sergeant majors in the Army say, I want 0 suicides this year. And it's just impossible. You just can't stop everybody. It's just impossible. As much as you want to, as much as you try, as much as you, with this guy, you just don't know what was going on. And then right. What really triggered this is that, he fled from police, right? And so if someone's in a certain state of mind and now he flees the police, he's a star, people are going to find out. He knows people are going to find out. And then he starts catastrophizing in his brain. And all of a sudden, there's no way out, And so that's what happens. And there's a trigger. And if somebody may have been able to talk to him prior to this, what was going on in his life, maybe they could have helped him. So when this event happened with the police, he wouldn't just snowball it into something that it wasn't, right? Because that's kind of what triggered it, is that he he left the police, and it was on chase, and he got away. But at the same time, he knows they probably got his license plate, something. So you start going down that trail, and then your mind starts going, and then you just start everything. My career is over, my life's over. I might as well be dead. And then it's just like, it just starts snowballing. And so, it's just one of those things. You just try as much as you can and do your best to reach out to those people, and to people you don't even think are feeling that way. But don't blame yourself, because you can't stop everybody. You just can't. It's impossible. But do what you can.
Yeah.
Do what you can.
Absolutely.
And to build that community, like you said, Flo, like where if he was in that predicament, we're just going to use you as an example.
Mm-hmm.
If he had you as a resource to say, hey, man, I'm jammed up. I need somebody with a level head to talk to me about the situation, because I'm freaking out. Right. Like, I'm in dire straits at this point. But if he had like a calming voice, he had someone to say, hey, it's going to be okay. It's all going to work out. It's all going to be figured out. Just surrender, and we'll take care of it after that. So and that's
it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem most of the time.
Right.
That's how people, and that's what happens.
Yeah, what happens is you get triggered, right? So once you have a trigger, you're not thinking normally anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in your normal mind state. You're now outside of like your normal mind state. So like Flo said, in his situation with running from the police, there's already that. You got a lot of men out here dealing with previously having families and divorces, or spouses away. Maybe they're in the military, you're not. Like myself, both parents are gone. So you have a lot of people dealing with a lot of things that are triggers, but it's how you are able to handle things, once you're triggered. And that's the problem. A lot of these guys, the male community, especially the community for, African-American men, there's not a lot of support for go get therapy, right? Go find things to help you work through when you go in those times. I got therapy, okay? Because I ain't gonna be thinking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have got therapy. So it helps you, because when you feel yourself getting to a certain place, you can be like, all right, these are the tools I have to kind of help me in these situations. But a lot of people don't do that because they don't feel like that's the right thing to do as a male. So I encourage you, if you see this or somebody who's going through things, just talk to them about talking to a professional and getting some help, because you can learn techniques and different things to do to help you when you see yourself going into those situations. Because these are not things that he would have done, or a lot of these people would do if they were in their normal mind. They get triggered and then you go to a different place. That's the best way I can describe it. Real difficult topic there, guys. So I thank y'all for y'all's input. I think, it needs to be talked about. You never know, we might reach one person, help one person. If we help one person, I feel like we've done something.
We did a service,
Brian Daboll was ceremoniously handed his pink slip. This is about as close as you get to what happened to Herm Edwards when they just walked down to the field and gave the pink slip. It's about as close as you get to that. I'm gonna say getting the young quarterback constantly in situations where he's in the blue tent, where he's been evaluated for concussions. Do you think the organization is going to allow you to be the guy to help him come along, and you can't even keep him in the game healthy? So he was going to get fired. It just so happened that I think that was the last straw. Couch coat and Flo, and then we'll finish off with Scrub. Y'all thoughts on Brian Daboll and him no longer being employed by the New York Football Giants?
Yeah. It was expected, like we talked about, as far as especially those fourth quarter leads. I mean, like I think Flo brought up, they could have been winning 6 games at this point. So you look at that standpoint. Like you said, the whole situation with the Jackson Dart kind of experiment in a sense, and like put him in positions for him to fail, and then the whole thing about him pretty much trying to yank him out the blue tent like a few weeks ago. And just a lot of little crazy little antics been going on. And like we knew this was going to end up happening. But they did him a favor, let him be home for the holidays with his family. We kind of maybe a Black Monday situation, but he'll be home for the holidays. So enjoy your time with your family.
He said he did him a favor and let him go home with his family. Go ahead.
Woo.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Home for the holidays, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I never have liked mid-season firings. I think you just wait till the end of the season. I know Jared likes to do that. He's never really done one like that. I just think it disrupts. I think you do it maybe if you think you have a chance, but if things are going sideways, you just let him finish the season. Daboll was sold on Dart. He was one of the few guys sold on him as a quarterback, and so I think that disrupts Dart's development because I think Daboll is a QB, a little bit of a QB whisperer, and I know he ran him maybe a little too much, but sometimes Dart took off on his own, and some of them were designed, but not all of them. And so a lot of that is just being a rookie quarterback. You see things that aren't there and you take off, before you need to. And sometimes, so that's just part of his development. And Daboll, I still think I think he'll get hired pretty quickly. I think this was just a bad situation. I think this was just one of those things. 1 year Daniel Jones got injured, and then I think Saquon was injured 1 year, and it's just he never could quite get the offensive line. And sometimes with a head coach, it's just situation. It doesn't work out, and I think he couldn't quite get the offensive line right. Whether he was just not hiring the right coaches, not drafting the right guys, not putting in the right pieces. Ultimately, he's the head coach, so he's going to get the blame. But sometimes, if you don't get the right staff together, that bodes bad for you as well. And so, I feel bad. I think you just fire the guy at the end of the season. Most of the time, when a mid-season firing happens, it's because they kind of already got a guy in mind. I don't think the Giants have a particular guy in mind necessarily. I don't think that was the case, but I just think it disrupts the team too much. Disrupts, especially a rookie quarterback. I think you let him play it out and then just fire him at the end of the season and move on that way. I think that's much better, but you knew it was coming. So, it's just one of those situations that there's nothing Daboll could have done. Even if he won out the rest of the year, he's not going to save his job. I don't think so. You just let him finish the season, and then you got the whole offseason to worry about it. You move on. You let him move on, and you go from there. But I've never really liked these mid-season firings.
Scrub.
Listen, key card don't work no more. Key card don't work no more. When I heard the news, I was actually asleep when the news broke. I woke up, everyone was blowing up my phone. I'm like, dang, what happened? Oh, he got the boot. Holy snap. I'm like, all right. Because, listen, Daboll's had, you have the situation with going into medical tent. Remember, there was also the situation with him and Wink Martindale a few years ago. And that had gotten kind of ugly.
Yep.
Like that wasn't a pretty thing. Defense hadn't gotten any better. And at the end of last year, like I forget if it was someone had to get talked down from firing him and Joe Shane. I think it was Steve Tisch who had to get talked down.
And I think you fire Joe Shane. If you're going to fire him, fire Joe Shane.
I agree with. See, that's the thing I'm upset about. Why did you hold on to Joe Shane and he gets to lead the search for the head coach, but you fired Daboll? I'm like, bro, like this roster is
better about it if they'd have done both.
If I remember correctly, wasn't there edict like they were saying like y'all get to the playoffs with both of y'all gone?
Things don't improve. Like people got to go.
Yeah,
the record hasn't improved. The roster, like John Marin, the same as said, like he thinks they got a good nucleus of talent. I beg to disagree. I think here's the thing: they drafted some players on paper. It looked good, like it looked good at the time, but ain't none of these guys. But few of these guys have developed outside of since they gotten here. Listen, Kayvon Thibodeau is a solid player, but he hasn't lived up to being the number 5 overall player. Evan Neal hadn't worked out due to a combination of injuries and lack of performance. He's come up way short than being the number 7 overall.
But to be
pick.
fair, some of these are the draft is always hit and miss. It's like 60% maybe you hit.
I understand that. I'm not saying I that part I get. It's just that the Giants were counting on a lot of these players that they drafted high to produce for them.
Yeah,
and they're not. The high picks since this regime's come in that's produced for him. Well, I know Robinson, which a lot of people felt was a reach. Malik Neighbors, who right now is hurt. We know he's legit, but he's been hurt. Because Deonte Banks, after his rookie year, which was a mixed bag, but it's like, all right, you had something. Last season and this season, he ain't giving you nothing. He's downright unplayable, in my opinion. Like, you can't play him. You go out there, something bad always happen with him out there. That's not good. They drafted no, they didn't. No, the last regime drafted Cordell Flott. He been out, but like you counted on a lot of these guys and they haven't worked out. John Michael Schmidt, 2nd round pick. Like he hasn't given you what you needed. Like at what point do you say the heck, like the GM ain't getting these players? All right, you got Scadaboo, you got Tyrone Tracy. Those were good later round picks. Micah McFadden's been solid. But, I mean, if your best picks are late round picks, like if those are your best
that's
players.
Good, though.
No, it's good they're developing. But, like, if I only got one first round player and my second and third round, the other first round players ain't giving me what I need. My second and third round guys ain't giving me what I need. What are we doing here? Like, why? How you still got a job as the GM? And this is why, in my opinion, I don't think the Giants are going anywhere.
And he's going to help you hire your new coach, probably.
That's what they said he's going to do. And I'm like, how?
Why?
Yeah, just get rid of both.
He'll hire.
Just fresh start.
Yeah.
And you see, this is kind of the situation we got into with the last quarterback in Daniel Jones. You kept the GM. You got a new head coach.
Yeah.
That ain't work out. I'm like, bro, this is looking like the Daniel Jones situation over again. Like, there's some notable differences between the two guys, but I'm like, there's too many similarities.
I mean,
I already see the path to failure. It's that bad.
You know, you should have a indie with Daniel Jones in the back.
I probably should at this point.
This year, that's what you should have in the back.
Listen, Flo, if the Colts get to the Super Bowl and Daniel Jones, we're gonna have a new set of issues. Because
that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised you didn't have that this year.
Because I'm not a Daniel Jones fan, but listen, I knew it wasn't ever always on him. I just didn't think he was a franchise quarterback. I still personally don't think he's a franchise quarterback. But you know what? I seen what you could do if you actually put things around him to be successful. We saw it the first year Daboll was here, and then they got stupid and thought he was going to be the guy to carry him. He was never that guy. He's a complimentary player himself.
So I want to switch this up because I know that
we'll be here for a long time.
Yes,
let's get to the rest of these games, man.
So before we get to the games, I just want to say, if you, by the time you record this, by the time you see this, if you're watching this, go back and think about the Thursday night game and think about the fact that the New England Patriots are wearing denim jean jerseys.
They're not either.
No, they really do look like that. I can't lie.
What?
They're not really denim, but if you look at them, they look like denim jean jerseys. They are terrible.
I saw this. I'm like,
right now,
right now. But hey, they winning in them right now. So
they winning in
I gotta
their
shut my
denim
mouth
socks and their denim jerseys. But
jerseys.
Almost like this material, almost like
bruh,
this material.
Now I gotta look at this.
we seen some ugly ones, but whoa, I saw that.
Oh my
I've been
God,
seeing it the
this
whole
was-
time. Like, whoa, that's crazy. But
Now you got me wanting to look at this thing.
and they look like a pair of jeans that's been washed like 10 times.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The stonewash jeans.
Sunwash jeans.
Stonewash jeans. All right, international game, November 16th, Madrid, Spain. Got the Washington Commanders as the away team and the Dolphins as the quote unquote home team. Though I don't Washington's.
607.
Although anybody's home in Madrid, but that's another thing. So, guys, who do you have winning this game? I'm gonna go Commanders because I think that Tua is just Tua. I'm gonna actually get a Commanders this one.
I'll go next. I got as much as I don't like Tuna Fish and Mike McDaniels and the Dolphins. That's who I'm going with because they got a chain.
Yeah, they are ugly.
They still got Jalen Waddle D. That's a Kirby reference for anyone who's played the Kirby games, but that's not here nor there. But yeah, they got a better. Their offense is better than Washington's defense, and unless they can get some pressure on Tuna Fish, and they're not going to win. If they get some pressure on him, they can do something. But
Don't forget,
not only you got to get pressure on him, you got to stop the run game.
Don't forget
Who the hell that can stop a chain?
Tua gonna get that ball up too, though. Tua gonna get.
He'll give it up, but like
He'll give you 2 turnovers.
I agree, but who on that defense going to stop Devontae? And that's why I got the Flippers. I mean the Dolphins.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. I got the Flippers.
Flo, you got.
Is Daniel starting?
No.
No.
He ain't making the trip. He ain't
He
making the
ain't
trip.
making
He ain't making it.
It's got to be at least 2 more weeks before they will let him play.
They
after
evaluate,
the
yeah.
Okay,
After the
2 more
bye
weeks.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
After the bye.
I think this is a winnable game for Mariota.
I think it is a winnable game. I think this is one of those games Mariota could go out there and have some fun, use his legs a little bit. Because the Dolphins, I mean, they're all right on defense, but they ain't nothing special. So, plus this is a neutral site.
Yeah, it's not really.
You're not playing in Miami. You're not playing in Washington. So sometimes that bodes well for you. Just changing the scenery. I think the only problem is A-Chain. Man, I don't know if y'all can't stop the run. Y'all gonna be in trouble. So I think just sell out on the run and let Tua beat you. That's how I see. Don't let A-Chain get going. Don't let that run game get going. And I think that's how you win this game. And I'm going to say the Commanders going to pull this out. This is one of their last victories on their way out, into the little bit tougher games. But I think this is the game that will, help the Commanders have a little hope, for the future and say, hey, man, maybe we'll be okay next year, and this feels good to win and put a W under our belt, So we'll see. Stop the bleeding a little bit.
What you got, Coach?
Well, there's 2 facts about me. I could be a little hyperbolic, and also I could be a hypocrite. I mentioned earlier that I don't think the Commanders going to win a game. Guess what? They're going to win Sunday morning. I don't give a damn. We're going to win. We're going to win. So, we're going to win Sunday morning. We're going to win tomorrow morning for sure. The 2 Hawaiian quarterbacks, and Tua and Marcus Mariota. So, I got Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders. So
okay, I like it.
I like it. All right, 1 p.m. November 16th. The Green Bay Packers, fresh off 2 losses in a row, one to the, I don't care what record says, lowly Carolina Panthers, which I think has broken their pride and their confidence in themselves. Go to Meadowlands, one of the worst fields in the NFL now. Keep that in mind.
The
and
worst,
play the 2-8 Giants. I still got to go Packers, but the Giants can make this a lot closer than people think.
You going Giants?
Coach, yeah, I'm going Packers, but I think the Giants have a chance to make it close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
not
brother
quite that
Winston
bold
gets
today,
the
Flo.
start.
Not quite that bold.
Brother Winston gets the start. Right. Brother Winston gets a start. Give me the Packers, man.
He said, Brother Winston. The Reverend Deacon Dr. Jameson.
Man, say what you want, but I love me some James Winston, man.
I love.
I do too.
I love me some James Winston, man. If nothing, just for the quotes, just for seeing him on TV, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some James Winston.
Eating the dub, bro. I never forget eating the dub. That's all time.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is his first game. He's gonna come out and he's gonna surprise the Packers. He's gonna come out and be throwing it. He's gonna be having a good time. They're gonna win this game. The Packers season is gonna be in jeopardy now, losing another game. I think because I think they can get to Jordan Love. When you make him uncomfortable, you look at his statistics when he's under pressure, he doesn't perform well. And I think the Giants can get pressure on him. So I think he's gonna be tap dancing back there, not playing well, and James is gonna light him up. And they're gonna get a little lead, and they're gonna hang on to the lead. I think the Packers might come back and make it interesting, but I think James is gonna get him a lead. He'll be having fun out there, high-fiving, acting crazy, smiling, and I think that he may not win another game this season, but I think he's gonna win this one.
Who you got, Scrub?
There's the guy who be eating W's. Who's that? Unfortunately, he plays for Little Blue, and until Little Blue proves otherwise,
he plays with a lot of these guys with these backups. He's been playing on the practice squad.
I understand that, but
he got a good.
They have shown for quite a while they are Little Blue, and until they outside of one game this season, which was against the Eagles on Thursday night, they have been Little Blue.
Yeah, they were Big Blue that night.
Yeah, that's the only time they really been Big Blue. Because even
definitely
against the Chargers, they look like Little Blue. It's just that the Chargers be sorry.
This is going to be that game like he did with the Browns.
It could be.
In the snow.
Oh, he's going to put it up. I know he's going to put it up. Whether that's good or bad, we'll see.
He's going to slang it. He's definitely going to slang it.
But I don't think the Packers are going to lose 3 in a row. I hope. Well, actually, no. I need everyone gone. So yeah, I do need the Giants to lose. So, no, I want this whole regime.
This is gonna keep
done.
This game will keep the GM's job intact.
Oh my God, no! Come on, Pack. Go, Pack, go! I got the Packers. Come on.
All right, we got the 6-3 Detroit Lions traveling to Lincoln Financial Field, November 16th, 8:20 p.m. to play the Philadelphia Eagles. I will be calling that game, by the way. Y'all know who I'm picking. I think we know who I'm picking. It's going to be ugly. We're going to find a way to manufacture some points because I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about the offense, but we're going to find some kind of way. I can't say it's going to be like one player, but we're going to find some kind of way, and we're going to get a victory. My blood pressure going to be high. If you watch the live stream on my channel, Eagles Elite, we'll be talking about every 5 minutes we're going to lose and why the stuff is so bad, but then we'll find a way to pull it out. We've learned that for us to have a good season, we have to be stressed out. So we're definitely stressed out as a fan base. I'm going to go Eagles, but it's going to be ugly and stressful.
Man, listen.
We'll go back around the other way. Scrub, go ahead.
The Eagles need a win, but
Eagles need 7 more wins.
Yeah, they do, but I'm going with Sonic and Knuckles and the Goof. give me the Lions. Listen. I can see the Lions possibly losing this game because the biggest thing you need to do is get to Jared Goff, and he going to jack it up. Because after what we saw against Minnesota, oh my God, I ain't never seen. I seen Goff play bad. I ain't never seen him play that bad though. That was just an atrocity. But
if everybody would pick the Eagles, I'd have been concerned. So I'm already relieved. Who you got, Flo?
Don't be relieved until that final score is in your favor and that clock is 0.
I don't know, man. I mean, so many times we get the Lions up for dead, and then they come back from the ashes. and they play pretty good on the road for the most part. And so I just think that they got to protect Jared Goff, and that's going to be tough against that D line that the Eagles have. Let's see. I feel like with the coach, what's the coach's name? Knee biting guy. Can't remember.
Oh, Dan
Campbell.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. Sorry, taking over plays now supposedly
For defense,
this might be a good thing because I think they might run the ball a little more, and I think they need to run the ball a little more against this team. And I think you might have a little bit of Jamar Gibbs coming up and having a good game, Montgomery having a good game. You have a 1-2 punch, and I think that's going to help them. And then the Eagles may have to throw the ball because they might be coming from behind, and I don't think that's their strength. And so, can they get some big plays through the air? Yeah, Jalen can get you a few big plays, but coming from behind, making Jalen throw the ball, I think that's the key to this game. And, holding on to the ball and running the ball. So I think that's what they're going to do. I feel like Jared Goff is, as long as he's protected, he's going to be all right, and as long as the run game's going. And I think that's what's going to really help them. I think that it's going to be an ugly game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be kind of ugly, grind-out game, and the Eagles will find a way to make it interesting. And it's not going to be a blowout by any case, but I think the Lions might pull this out by the skin of their teeth. Some kind of last-minute field goal.
All right, Couch Coach, who you got?
Yeah, man, I definitely think the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm just, obviously I'm still reeling off the loss on Sunday. All I got to say is Jalen Carter. If Amon St. Brown come at you, you got to get your NFC Beast lick bag. Do it for the NFC East.
But make sure you don't spit on it.
At the end of the day.
Please.
No, don't do no. No, we're not doing no. We're not going to do that.
I'm just saying when you say get your lick,
form of it.
Make sure you be specific with Jalen Carter.
About that. No,
make sure you're specific with it
because he might
that's
be like,
true.
oh,
That's preface. No, we don't want any bodily fluids. We just want some.
They got target the door too,
my man.
No.
They're definitely going to target.
Yeah, that's true. I just want. Yeah, so when he does the little want to be these dances and stuff, yeah, and him trying to act like he don't do nothing on the slide, get his ass. That's all I gotta say. Just get his ass.
Hey, at first I didn't see the first play. I don't know if he punched him, but you can't be like running your mouth and talking to people, and then like just think it's gonna be over. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So thinking it's sweet.
Yeah. All right. And then Monday Night Football, November 17th. Dallas Cowboys travel to play the Las Vegas Raiders. I got one thing to say about this game. I don't care who in the NFL you put in against the Cowboys this week. The Cowboys are whooping their ass. The Cowboys have so much extra motivation and frustration and anger and stuff to take out. I would hate to be the Raiders this week. I would hate to be anybody who happens to be on the Cowboys schedule this week. Yep. I think Cowboys win big.
Cool. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was going. When I saw this match, forget even what happened with the Cowboys. After what I saw from the Raiders, this is once again, like I said last week, this is not betting advice. This is just what I would do if I was betting. Take the spread. It's like 3.5 right now. Take it.
3.5.
Take it right now.
Take it right now.
Jump on that thing right now.
Got the Cowboys easy. I would much as that hurt me to say I got the Cowboys easy. Raiders is cooked, dog. Stick 2 forks in them.
Not 2 forks. Okay.
2 of them. 1 for each hand.
Couch Coach, who you
man, y'all better win, Flo. Y'all better win. Because if you can't come on the show next week if you lose the Raiders. But yeah, I got the Cowboys.
I'm gonna be sick. I'll probably be sick.
Right. You can use the PTO.
I had a flu.
Flo had overnight duty Thursday and Friday this week. Overnight duty all week.
I feel sniffle right now. Just
use your PTO time next week, dog. If y'all lose the Raiders.
feel sniffle.
Feel chilly.
Oh boy. I can't, man. I can't. That's crazy.
Am I going?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like that extra motivation. I think this is a game that you come out and they off a bye week, a terrible tragedy within the team. I think there's a lot of guys that really liked Kneeland, that were good friends with him. You even saw Micah talk about him. So I think they come out focused and ready to win this game. I think also a part of that is going to be that we're getting some guys healthy. We're finally going to see Shavon Ravel make his season debut. He's been hurt, hadn't able to even play a lick. Donovan Wilson, I think, is coming back. Malik Hooker may be back, and we may see the first sighting of DeMarvion Overshown, who is a beast out there, a linebacker. So I think the fact that we're getting some of these defensive guys healthy, and we got Quinnen Williams on the D line, another good tackle, right defensive tackle, along with Kenny Clark. I think we'll be able to get some pressure on Geno. We saw what happened to Geno last week when he got pressure. And so I don't think we're going to get that kind of pressure. You know, we'll have that kind of D-line, but I think they're going to come out motivated, and they should blow them out for the most part. We'll see what happens. Maybe they get some late, garbage time, make it look good. But we should win this game. This is the most confident I felt all season in a game. So if we do lose this game, I will be sick. I will not be here next week. I will come down with some kind of tragic illness. So just know that I feel something in the back of a little tickle. But I feel a little tickle.
But if y'all win, you'll be able to tough through it.
But if we win, I think I'm gonna feel better by next week. But we'll see.
I feel it, man. I feel it. All right, guys. Hey, man, another episode. NFC Beast, season 4, episode 9 in the books. I heard our picks. I heard our thoughts. Appreciate everyone that's watching. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. Make sure you're looking at these little tags for those of us who have them. Those are places where you can find other things that we do. And show us some love and support us. We will be back next week. I'm feeling better. Still a little clogged up. Y'all see me drinking the old man tea, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. We will be back next week. Always remember, it is never where you start, good people. It's where you finish. And the NFC Beast, only division, every team has multiple Super Bowls. Until you can get like us, you're not on the same level. And with that being said, hey, I got 5. Y'all got 5. We got 2. So that 2 is what makes everybody have. Because without that 2, y'all ain't nobody. You just like a whole bunch of other clowns. But we have made it complete. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. We made 8, I think. Peace. Good to be here.